Hey guys, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. So today we're going to be doing our second episode of our detailed walkthrough of Dark Souls 3. So today we're going to be doing the High Wall of Lothric, and there are a few things in this level that may interest you. Okay, the High Wall of Lothric. So in this episode, we'll be having two more NPCs. One that will be saving a bit later on, and another one which will spawn anyway. Back at Firelink. First bonfire just here, plain sight. So the logical thing is to go down here to the left and continue through the level. But first, we're going to come over here. Just watch out for this guy in the corner. He's going to hit me. Wow, what an idiot. Okay. Watch out for these guys. Okay, so more dogs down here. It's important to kill that guy, because if not, he will shoot you in the back when you're fighting with the dogs. And fighting with dogs is annoying as it is, especially without a shield. So just watch out for him. Down here, down these side steps. It's going to be a shortcut just there through that gate, but we're going to have to open that from the other side a bit later on. No, I didn't do a plunging attack. Watch out for these guys hurt. Can we get a backstab? Yeah, we can. Boom! And you're dead. Okay, so there's a soul down here. I really do recommend picking up as many items as possible on Dark Souls if it's your first time playing it, because they really do come in handy later on. Obviously, like, once you're in New Game Plus or something, you don't want to pick up every single stupid little soul. I can understand that, because they don't really give you that much. But at this point of the game, I really do recommend it. Like, maybe every 4 or 5 souls could even be enough to level you up, depending on the size of souls. Right, so here we're going to equip some fire bombs if you haven't already. And you're actually going to wait until this guy at the back transforms into that thing. So on the 100% walkthrough, I actually didn't let him transform on my item walkthrough. But if you let him transform, he will give you a Titanite shard and an ember when he dies. Like I said, look, he's really weak to fire. He gets okay, he didn't do it that time because he didn't want to. I guess you can't do it twice in a row that much. But yeah, the first time you hit him with fire, he'll get staggered pretty bad. You need to be careful, because these guys really, you can't mess around with these guys at the start that much. No, it's dead anyway. Don't worry about if you have to use all your Estus flasks against this guy, because we'll be going back to the bonfire now anyway. See, an ember and Titanite shard, and also we picked up the longbow over here, which is pretty good. Yeah, but like I said, there's nothing more that interests us over here. But it is good to have that extra ember and Titanite shard, because technically now we could go back to Firelink and upgrade our longsword to +1. So yeah, so rest of the bonfire, you can go back and do that if you want. And also with 4,000 souls or whatever, how many ever souls you've got by now, you probably could level up one more time. See you there. Before coming down here, I'm going to kill this guy. Right, so before going down there and continuing, we're actually going to take the alternative route to get down there. And up here by the dragon, up here these stairs to the left, watch out for this guy. Fuck's sake. We get the binoculars over here, and yeah, so binoculars are useful for taking screenshots really, because not much else, but it's a really cool thing to have if you want to do a desktop background or something like that. Kill all these guys if you want. Doesn't really matter if you don't want to kill them. They don't give you too many souls, but it's worth it, I guess. Coming down here behind the dragon, just here we are going to get some gold pine resin. So what gold pine resin is, it's a consumable item. that will pretty much temporarily infuse our weapon with an element. Gold pine resin in general, or in specifically, will enchant it with electricity, or infuse it with electricity temporarily. And we can get all kinds of other resins to infuse it with different elements. So as soon as you get to this area, I recommend going up here as fast as possible and getting towards the door under the dragon and opening it, and just let all these guys die, or most of them. 90% of the time they'll all die. But yeah, so there's 3 different items here. The one mostly to the left is a club, which is pretty good for a strength build. It stacks A at the start, I believe, or scales A at the start, sorry. The one in the middle is an ember, and the one at the far end is a claymore, which is another sword, which is pretty good. The only one I'm interested in at the moment is the ember, so we're going to go and pick that up and run like hell. You're probably going to get hit anyway. So if you go back to Firelink and buy enough arrows for your bow, you can actually stand under him just up here and shoot him a few times. Well, a lot of times. Make sure you buy 99 arrows at least, and maybe even more. And he will eventually fly away, so you can pick those items up without much fuss, and also he will give us a large titanite shard. But we don't specifically need a large titanite shard yet, so we may do that a bit later on. But like I said, I told you what 3 items are below the dragon, so if you're interested, then sure, go ahead and make him fly away. Spam this guy to kill him. Ah, fucking that stamina. Nothing down here. If we go down here, we'll pretty much just go back to the other side of the dragon. He can also obviously fire flames down here in this bottom path. The good thing about leaving the dragon alive, if there is a good thing, is that if you want to farm a few souls to level up a few times maybe, then he will kill most of the enemies again, and is a quick kind of way of farming, I guess. Not too effective, but maybe if you're really low levels, then yeah. We're going to be going back there in a second after I light this bonfire. Right, so from this bonfire there's an item over here. Titanite shard. So we're actually going to go back to Firelink at the moment. We can't rest at the bonfire because there's an enemy close to us, I think. Is it you? We're going to go back to Firelink Shrine just a second. I want to see something. Okay, so after resting at the second bonfire of High Walls of Lothric, there's a pretty high chance that this NPC will be here, Mr. Leonhard. If he doesn't spawn yet, then just wait until you beat the boss of High Walls of Lothric, and then he should spawn 100%. But anyway, this is the first part of his quest. He will give us 5 cracked red eye orbs to invade people. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. To do the next part of his quest and get the key to the locked door under the second bonfire in High Walls of Lothric, we will need a pale tongue. And to get a pale tongue, you either invade somebody with a red eye orb or cracked red eye orb and kill the host, you'll get a pale tongue. Or you can wait a bit until the next area and we'll be picking one up anyway, so yeah. What else was I going to do? Yeah, we're going to go and level up, obviously. Get a bit more health and endurance. And we're actually going to go and level our weapon up. And to be honest, I don't extremely recommend leveling a weapon up this early in the game, because maybe then you'll pick another weapon up and you're more interested in that weapon, but it's up to you really. Later on in the game, we're going to get plenty of Titanite shards. Far too many actually, but yeah. If you know you're going to stick with this weapon for a while, then go ahead and upgrade it. Right, so technically, like I said, we could invade people already with these cracked red eye orbs. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it because you're going to get a pale tongue next episode anyway from the undead settlement. But if you are interested in unlocking that door already, then go ahead. But like I said, even once you unlock the door, what is through the door is a red eye orb, just a pure red eye orb, so you don't use cracked red eye orbs, and you can just invade infinitely. So there's not really much point of doing it at the moment, I guess. You should probably just wait until you're going to pick one up eventually, because there's not really much point of invading at the moment anyway. But anyway, coming back to this room under the dragon, there's going to be a chest here, which is not actually a real chest. So this is a mimic, so you can tell that this is a mimic by two ways. Just the placing of the chain to the right is kind of towards us, and if you look closely you can see it moving, you can see it breathing, like literally. So don't open that with the X button because you're going to get fucking eaten as hell. These guys are actually really powerful at this point in the game. They can, if they kick you or hit you, you are going to get fucked. That kick would probably insta-kill me, I'm not going to lie. The grab would probably definitely insta-kill me. I'm not sure about that. I could probably survive one of those. I'm gonna actually get to full health just in case. Oh fuck. That was really close. No. My bad, but I think we're gonna survive it. Okay. We wouldn't have survived a second one though. We definitely wouldn't have survived that. Okay, one more. There, it's dead. Okay, so mimics give us unique items, or they drop us some really good stuff. So this guy will drop us a deep battle axe. So that is the same battle axe as you would get if you're using the warrior class from the start, but it is already infused with the deep element. So it's just like infusing something at the blacksmith, maybe fire or refined. But this one's with deep, which we'll be able to get deep gems later on, and the deep coal and all that. But so what does deep do? What does the deep infusement do? So what the deep infusement does is it takes away all the scaling, but it will give it some base dark damage. So it's got 103 base dark damage, though it would take away all the strength and dexterity scaling. And yeah, it's just another element on the game, dark. So if there's maybe some enemies that are weak to dark, then that's a pretty good weapon. Yeah, there's also another infusement through the game called Dark Infusement, which is pretty much the opposite, as in it lowers the base damage a bit, but it lets it scale more, and that gives you the possibility to get more dark damage through Faith. So yeah. So below the bonfire, we're going to hop down once. We're not going to hop down twice because we need some keys. One of the keys is the one that we get from the NPC we was just talking about by giving him, or not giving him, but just by having a pale tongue. Watch out for this ambush down here. And the other key we will be getting very soon to rescue an NPC. I believe there's another soul around here. I think it's at the top actually, but whatever. Right, so here we get to a point where there's going to be another one of those guys that transform. He even gives us some fire bombs here. Is he going to transform? Yeah, there he goes. Let him transform if you want the Titanite shard and the ember. If not, I really do recommend just killing him straight away. Oh, fuck. I'm sure I pressed down in the D-pad there. Oh, he hit me. These guys are really annoying. These are like one of my most hated enemies, to be honest. But yeah, I just prefer to stand back, throw fire bombs at him. It's the easiest way. He doesn't really get a chance to do anything. And at this point in the game, it's probably the best thing to do just to not get too close to him. Anyway, continuing down this roof, I recommend coming around this side first. Pick up that, and because there's going to be a crystal lizard here, and what these do is run like hell as soon as you see them. But they will give us really good upgrade in material. So they obviously won't attack us, but they will just run away. So that guy, if we were to come down from this direction, he would have run off the roof, and we would have missed the opportunity to get the raw gem. until we refresh map. Obviously now if we refresh map, he's not going to be there because he's dead and they don't respawn, sorry. So yeah, so this guy gave us a raw gem. We already said what raw did, but now we could actually go back to the blacksmith and infuse a weapon with the raw element. So yeah, come around here on this balcony. There's going to be an item over here at the end. We're going to get ambushed by a few people. No biggie. Pick up these fire bombs. If we go down here, we skip a bit of the level, but we're not going to do that because I want to show you a few interesting things in here. If we go down this little side path onto this roof, we're going to get 3 black fire bombs, which are pretty much fire bombs, but it's just more powerful. In this room to our left is going to be a guy just here, and there's going to be a guy in the pots, which will actually attack us once it's been freed. But we're also going to get an item. So the item we just picked up is the equivalent to Lies Talismans on Dark Souls, or the original. Oh, fuck. Always forget about that ambush. It's the equivalent to Lies Talisman on Dark Souls 1, which if you throw it at an enemy or an NPC or an invader, they won't be able to use Estus flask. So obviously they're pretty much useful more for NPCs or NPCs invaders, just so they don't heal. There we go. If you see somebody using their shield too much, just R1 and forwards and kick the shield off and get a critical on them, and they'll regret it. In this corner over here, there's going to be another soul. This guy didn't drop us anything. Over here to the right, there's a slightly hidden passage, which we're going to be going through in a second. This guy will try and ambush you. And in here, we're going to have the broadsword. This weapon is actually pretty good for the character we're using at the moment. It may even still be better. Not quite. But if we wouldn't have upgraded the longsword, it would have been better, I believe. So if you don't upgrade the longsword, then just equip the broadsword. And it's probably even better if you just go ahead and upgrade the broadsword. Because as you can see, since we upgraded the longsword, I think before it didn't scale C with strength, but now it does. I could be wrong, but I don't think it scaled C at the start. And that's now what's making it better than the broadsword, because we've upgraded it to +1. Anyway, coming through this passageway I mentioned, which is slightly hidden, there's going to be green blossom. That's a consumable that temporarily boosts our green bar regeneration. And down here in this chest, we're going to get our storage straight sword. Right, so this place, as you can see, those barrels down there are highly explosive. If I can get a hit on them, there we go. You can actually manually aim this with the binoculars if you want. Do get a visceral attack on that guy. Okay, that turned out pretty well. We actually got his great axe and another raw gem. Very nice. Before doing anything down in that floor, come up here and sort this guy out, because this guy's firing shit at his fire bombs, and if he hits one of those barrels when we're near it, it's not going to be pretty. So I recommend coming up around here first. Pick up that shield from the chest, and we're going to go down because this room has got a few very interesting items in it. Oh my god, I fucking thought you was all dead. Get rid of this guy. Be careful because he does have slightly more range than me, but it's good. Alright, we actually got a Titanite shard off of that guy. Right, so over here we're going to have an Estus shard. So like I said, we can take it back to the blacksmith and we'll have an extra Estus flask for whatever Estus flask we want. Either the ashen one or the normal one. We can share the points the way we want. Cell key down here, which is going to be for the other door below the second bonfire, which is to rescue an NPC, which we'll be doing in a second. Down here, another Titanite shard, and I believe that's it for this area. Right, so if we go out here on the balcony, we can jump down, but we're not going to do that quite yet. We're actually going to use a homeward bone, go back to the shrine bonfire, because we want to level up and upgrade our Estus flask. Okay, so back at Firelink Shrine, first we're going to go ahead and level up. Let's get 20 health, it's just so we've got a fairly big health bar. And we're going to give our Estus shard to the blacksmith. don't mind, stop doing gestures, thank you. And we're going to reinforce Estus flask. So yeah, we're going to do that. So obviously now, if we want to reinforce our longsword one more time, we could, because we've got 5 Estus shards. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and level up to +2. It's probably not the best thing to do, because we'll be getting some better weapons soon, but you know, it's not too bad. I think that's it. We can't do anything else here at the moment, so now we are going to go to the second bonfire, because we're going to rescue an NPC and tell him to go back to the Firelink Shrine. Right, so from the second bonfire, we want to drop down twice this time. Probably got rid of that guy, actually. Gonna follow us down. And be careful of this guy right here. So, like I said, there's 2 locked gates down here. Where are these enemies coming from? So, this one over here, we will be able to unlock once we have a pale tongue and talk to Leonhard. But we'll be doing that next episode, so, you know, there's no rush to do it. Because all we're going to get out of that is the red eye orb to invade people. Which, don't get me wrong, is a really useful item. It's one of the core items for PvP, but we're not really going to be interested in PvP, especially if you're new at this point of the game. Anyway, we're going to get a mail breaker there, and with the cell key we just got not that long ago, before going back to Firelink, we are going to open this cell just here and talk to this NPC. So he will say that he's looking for somebody, and if we could give him a ring. So we say yeah, we get the blue tearstone ring. Really is only lending it to us, or he's not even lending it to us, he's just requested us to give it to somebody, and he will go back to Firelink Shrine. So he has got a quest line, and we'll be following that. We'll be continuing with it next episode, because that's the earliest we can do it. But yeah, at the moment, our mission with that guy is to give that ring to somebody called Loretta, I think. So yeah, we'll be finding out a bit more about that quest next episode. I'm gonna pick this. Oh no, I keep forgetting. There's a soul there to the right, but it's at the top, not down the ladder. But yeah, so now we're just gonna continue to pretty much where we were. There's a lot of shit going on because I'm not killing the enemies, but if you've already been through here, there's not really much point. I mean, you can get a few extra souls, but we've got all the items and stuff. So we're just going to run, if these enemies will let us, we're going to run out to the balcony, I mentioned before. Break these barrels and stuff, and pick up the rapier down here. Right, so there's a pretty... Oh god, they will follow me down. I didn't think they would follow me down, so that's pretty bad. Even the dog's coming down, holy shit. And there's a pretty tough enemy in this plaza. Okay, here he comes, here he comes. I prefer to fight this guy with no dogs in the way, thank you very much. Well, we can get a one-hit kill on the dogs now if we double hand the +2 longsword, so that's pretty good. Right, so for this guy, you can go ahead and use a pine resin, a gold pine resin, which we picked up before if you want, because this guy will actually be pretty annoying, especially if he hits us a few times. Okay, that's his miracle. We will be able to get that later on. It's not too powerful, but it's pretty cool. Okay, spin attack. It's pretty much like playing League of Legends against Garen, if you know what I mean, but yeah. He shouldn't be too hard, he gives you a few souls. He can drop you his weapon, 2 types of weapons actually, and parts of his armor. If we go through here, I think there's one item down here. Or not. Okay, so this ladder just here, this long ladder will take us up to, if you don't mind guys, this long ladder will take us up to where we got ambushed slightly after the roof, where that guy is that transforms with the abyss. I'm not sure if I explained that well, but yeah, it'll take us a bit further up, so it's kind of a shortcut to get down here. Once we're on this outside kind of area, first thing we're going to do is go to the right. Watch out for the crossbow guy. There's also a guy behind us. Take them out. Before heading up, we can head to the right and turn back on ourselves. Get this soul and jump across here to get a ring of sacrifice. What a ring of sacrifice does, for anybody that doesn't know, is that say we've got 100,000 souls now or something that's pretty valuable to us, and we're scared, we don't have an Estus flask left, we're gonna die for sure, but we don't want to lose those souls, so we just go ahead and equip that ring, and we won't lose our souls when we die, but obviously the ring breaks, so you'll be able to use that ring once and that's it. That's what the ring of sacrifice does. So we're going to go up this lift, and this is going to take us back to close to the first bonfire. It's literally the first way we went on this level. There's going to be an item behind us, 6 throwing knives, and this is going to open the shortcut I mentioned, which in case you don't remember where it is, it's to the right of the first bonfire where the first few dogs are what we fighted, and the guy I said we should take out before jumping down, and just up here is going to be the first bonfire. So now I've got a shortcut to the late area. We need to kill this dog before resting the bonfire apparently. So yeah, having the longsword at +2 is pretty good if you're annoyed about the dogs, because it will kill them in one hit. So yeah, so now if we want to go through the level, we just come around here, drop off here. I was meant to drop onto that piece of wood to not take any damage, but fine. And come down here, and now we can just continue through the level as we left it pretty much. So yeah, so there's not too much of the level left, to be honest. We're getting close to the end of the high wall of Lothric, and we've pretty much covered it all. Maybe even 100% of the items, I'm not too sure. Maybe we missed a soul or something, but I don't think so. Anyway, come down here. So this place is actually really big and open, but there's actually no items. There's like 2 items, and one of them's going to be up here. I'm actually going to try and take these guys out one by one, because if not they'll stack up and get really annoying. But yeah, we're doing some decent damage with our +2 longsword now. Shout for you. We can actually do critical on stairs now, unlike on Bloodborne. You can get him into critical position, but you couldn't actually do the critical on Bloodborne if there was on some stairs, which is really weird. Anyway, Titanite Shard and his gauntlets. So yeah, like I said, the boss is down there, but there's no, like, we've got all these little side paths, but there's no items on any of them, except up here there's going to be the, I'm not sure if it's a halberd, maybe, or something like a halberd. Boom. Boom. Okay, it's the Lucerne. Okay. It's pretty good. New weapon. So to continue through the game, we actually need to go through here first and talk to Emma to get the banner. If not, after we kill the boss we're about to face, we won't be able to continue to the undead settlement. So yeah, go ahead, small Lothric banner, and also she will give us the Way of the Blue, which is a covenant. So to choose what covenant we want to be in, we go to this little item over here, or this little slot here, and equip whatever covenant we wish to be in. So if we want to be in the Way of the Blue, which is a covenant that if you get invaded and you're in the Way of the Blue, there's a high chance that somebody from a different covenant called the Blue Sentinels will come in and help you defeat the invader, and as soon as the invader is defeated, then the guy from the Blue Sentinels will go. So it's kind of like, if you're getting invaded a lot and you don't want it and you're having a bit of trouble, then go ahead and quit that, and yeah, it won't be so hard for you. And this guy over here to the left of the cathedral is actually probably our toughest enemy yet. It's not too hard, but you could have some trouble. He does hit really hard, especially once he's blessed his weapon. Just watch out for the stamina. And it's dead. So the first time we kill him, he will always drop as a refined gem, which is exactly what I want for this class. If you go in Dex and Strength, then that's the best infusement, because that will boost the scaling for Dex and Strength by a bit. Probably not obviously as much as some of the ones what will give it just to Strength, or just to Dexterity, for instance, but it will give it some boost at a cost of a really low cost of some base damage. So I'm not going to summon any real players, to be honest, but I am going to show you some of the interesting NPCs we can summon on some of the bosses. So for this boss, we can summon the Swordmaster. Obviously, I forgot to mention actually that we could kill Emma, the woman that just gave us the banner, and it will activate a very late game boss called the Dancer, and we'll be able to go up above her and all that. The stairs will come down, but it's pointless. It really is, because we'll be getting there. We'll be fighting the Dancer a lot later on anyway, to complete the game, and there's only a certain amount of a certain amount of things we can do up there at the moment before not being able to advance anymore. So yeah, this boss is not really much to talk about. This boss is so easy. Just stay kind of behind him, under him, and yeah. His second phase, what he does is just do that all the time, just charge at you permanently, like literally all the time. The best chance to attack him is when it's doing his ice breath. But yeah, just dodge when it looks like it's going to do an attack, and everything should be good. Not really much we can talk about at the moment. But like I was saying, the Dancer is just not going to happen at this point in the game anyway, because the lowest I've ever beat her is level like 40, something like that. But yeah, anyway, obviously if you've summoned a White Phantom to help us out, in this case an NPC, he will go home as soon as we've completed the boss of the level, and we will no longer be able to summon White Phantoms into this area because the boss is dead. So yeah guys, this has been episode 2, the High Wall of Lothric. Next episode we'll be doing the Undead Settlement, which has a lot of things that I need to explain in detail. So yeah guys, if this was helpful, please go like and subscribe if you're not already. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter. You can go and check out my brand new t-shirt design. It's the first campaign I'm putting out there on Teespring, and if it's successful there'll be so many more designs, so I'd really appreciate it if you go and check those out, and we will see you next video guys.